In this video, we're going to use the graphics components of Stata to prepare plots of the relationship between two variables. So again, let's start by opening up the tree swallow data set, and we'll double click on that. Again, available from the Technology Department website under the Scientific Writing and Statistics link. If you haven't done the regression and correlation video yet, you should do that before you do this one. But we've loaded up our data now, and what we want to do is to just get a graphical representation of the relationship between the wing lengths and the weights of all the tree swallows in our data set. So what we're going to do is to go up to graphics, and we're going to pick two-way graph, and we're going to create a new plot. And we're going to choose scatter, and we have our y variable. We know from our regression and correlation video that we're going to use weight for that one, and our x variable is wing length. So all we've got to do is to accept that, and that's plot 1, and we're going to say OK. And there we are. So here are all the 80 different values that we have for our data set, and you can see an overall upward trend. You remember this was that really fat bird that weighed 35 grams, but overall it's a pretty nice increasing relationship that you can see there by plotting the data. Remember, we had a correlation of 0.8805 between the two variables, our R-square value of 0.77. Well, it's interesting also to plot the actual regression line right through the constellation of data points there. So what I'm going to do is just to do that with text, and so I'm just going to add another command here, linear fit. And what that's going to do is to give the best fit line, the linear regression line, that goes right through all the different points. So you can see that a lot of the points fall almost directly on the line. There's some that are a little bit above, some that are a little bit below, and occasionally some that are very far off. But remember, we could explain about 77% of the variation in weight if we just knew what the wing length was. And you can see why that's the case. That's actually a fairly tight fit for most of the birds that we had in this particular study. Now remember, you can go in with the graphics editor and you can change various components of your graph. And so let's open that up, and let's just say that we want to put a different color for our data points, that we don't really want navy, but we'll use orange, and we want the points to be a little bit smaller, or I guess it'll be a little bit bigger, make them bigger. It will say OK to that. And maybe we want to put the data points as triangles rather than squares, so we can have it do that, and that's the way that would look. And maybe we don't like the color of this data line here. It's not, we don't want maroon, but what we want dark navy, and so we can say OK. And again, we can modify all the different components of our graph and get the graph that we really like for our particular taste.